making sure our structure is clean. There's no commingling of funds. Everything's structured straight up so that in 3 years, if someone wanted
capital structure is. You can't always borrow hard money loans to do certain deals, right?
Right.
Holding on to something long term, bank financing makes more sense. Maybe you need something. Maybe you need money quicker. That's where hard money makes a lot of sense. So when you build, depending on how big you're going to build your business, got legacy here at some point. Jason Bible, Robert Orfino, Texas Real Estate Radio Network. Okay, got the stream fixed.
Oh, very good.
Sort of. So we're going to run this one and that one. Just so we got at least two of them on.
That is running.
That is running.
All right. If we want to share with you, so it's 281-401-9008. Or go ahead. Let's go ahead and take care of that, and then we'll talk about some of the other things that we have going on. We had a bunch of people are interested in a monthly mastermind.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
So the membership to ARM. So we'll be talking about that a little bit. We have 4 ARM meetings coming up this week. It's a big week for American Real Estate Structure. And then Merle's going to come back for 2 days in June. 6 and Park Row.
Yeah,
Highway 6 and I-10.
Yeah, Highway 6 and I-10. Watson's Ale House will be in the back there.
Tomorrow night's the Woodlands. PowerPoint. Tonight is just hanging out.
Tonight's just
There's no PowerPoint. There's no nuggets. There will be some
podcasts.
Yes.
That you learn the most when you're most uncomfortable.
Of course. Yeah.
And at first I went, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Shoes. Right.
And the other thing that you'll find, sales is very interesting in that you want to be most uncomfortable in the room, like they call it the least okay.
The least okay.
Everybody else has got to feel okay. You got to be the one that feels least okay.
I hate sales.
It's not really. I don't know. I don't really think that is.
I'll tell you, the webinars are becoming exhausting too because I'm throwing so much energy into that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Tina, come on out.
Here we go. 10 seconds.
Ooh.
Welcome back. Jason Bible, Robert Orfino, Texas Real Estate Radio Network. So I was thinking about legacy this weekend. We're watching the old Avengers there. If you guys stayed through that.
I did not. I rented
it. It was really good how they did that. Because basically they're, with exception to maybe a couple of like spin-off and stuff, those people ain't coming. A lot of people think legacy is handing down stuff. That's the best way I can describe it. Handing down. I want to leave a legacy. Explain to me tactically what that looks like. Oh, I want to hand them this huge portfolio. And I'm like, okay, you realize, A, that's not really what legacy is. And then this is what really throws people for a loop. What if they don't now build this legacy for their family that doesn't want it?
Yeah.
Boy, that's important to me. And how do I derive satisfaction from that, right? So then you start having this thought of, well, it's applying and in this mark on something, on society, on your family, on the. Of course, the other heartbreaking statistic is after.
See your 2 sons, see how much you work, things you do here on the radio. You're building out a little empire, right? Mm-hmm. They're going to be benefactors of that,
right?
But their kids didn't see you do it.
That's right.
So they just know you as Grandpa Jason.
Well, you know what's so funny about that, and this is something that Gary Vaynerchuk is on right now. This is the generation in which a lot of families will start because we'll have video. That's all you got.
Yeah, there's no video, there's no recordings, none of that stuff. Yeah, if I were you guys, I'd go back with your camera and just have a conversation with your dad and your mom. And how'd you meet? How'd you really meet?
Yeah.
What were the real struggles? Mm-hmm. How did I come along? Like, hey, it's not just the things you leave; it's that mindset, right? Clearly, you are a reflection of your dad. You talk. There's a way to deal with problems there. I mean, there's an investigative mind there, right, from you and on your side of it. So that mindset that, hey, you can always get money.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can buy restaurants, you can buy hotels, you can buy houses, you can buy surf shops.
I'll tell you right now that it's, you get that question all the time. Well, what happens if everything falls apart and your portfolio goes? Once you realize that, now, the fascinating thing is once you got that mindset, how do you train the next generation? How do you leave that legacy? And that's where things start to get interesting, because a lot of the stuff that you've got to do with your kids is you can't sit down and say, do this, do that. That doesn't work. You know, like, you think they're not paying attention? They are.
No, they are.
They are absolutely paying attention to the things that you're doing. And the pad and say, well, what does that look like? Because you don't want to spend a lifetime building something in which no one wants.
Right.
Because that is going to be absolutely crazy. Yeah, I'm done.
This is not what I want to do. I slaved enough in this kitchen.
That's right.
Right.
Doctor, you want to be engineer, whatever it is.
Right.
Then let's use that same problem. No matter how much wealth we accumulate, we're not going to sit around and play golf all day. Everybody's going to work. Everybody's going to contribute. So what is it that you're going to contribute to society? And let's approach that with a mindset for, like you said, kind of that investigative mindset. We used to call it professional curiosity.
Right.
Where you really try to figure out, okay, well, how do I solve these complex problems? The legacy. It's not the stuff. It's not the stuff.
And I think we'll come back when we at the back of the break here and talk about understanding failure is really important as well.
Absolutely. It's Jason Bible, Robert Orfino, Texas Real Estate Radio Network. We're going to the KW office after this?
No, our house.
Oh, okay.
I like the board.
Oh,
we had
yeah.
Terry over on Saturday afternoon and went through all the crazy money shifting. And then I got to go run the bank. We got that $195,000 check deposit.
What did we get a $195,000 check for?
Bill and Maria on the construction.
Oh, okay.
I had to go all the way down to Corpus to sign the last document.
So did you walk in that title company and say, I'd love to beat the snot out of all you people?
Do what they know how to do.
Yeah, we know how to close a beach house.
Right. Beach house. And I didn't beat them up too much. I took a couple extra bottles of water on the way out. That was about it. Screw you. So loaded up with the bottles.
I'm out of here for 1 minute.
It was kind of hot down there, too. We got to get the air conditioner back on. First, like, okay, we're going to back to July 1st.
Yeah.
But here they're like, boom, it's on.
Yeah, it's like hanging a picture, right?
The pipe's going to go from the exterior and then through the wall. We're talking about legacy, and I think, again, we spend all that money anyway. but the big lesson here has been loves failure.
Mm-hmm.
For the wrong reason. On us. Like, hey, your rocket blew up. Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Okay. Percent of the world gives him.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's just going through it.
That candle like a caveman.
So if we just teach our kids, this next generation, that failure is just part of it, right?
Yeah.
It's part of the whole life experience, and there should be no shame, right? Because I think that's what keeps down. And I think what
he's talking about.
I think it's a dirty selling their houses, and it's a dirty secret that nobody wants to say, and we're the only guys up here saying, God, this house is sucking because it got flooded.
That's right. Yeah.
Right? I'm about to refi out. I'm going to do an Airbnb, and it's going to be great for the next 5 years. But man, these last 9 months were horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hear anyone else selling that, even though I can look at the numbers and I can hear the words, right? And so, community, we're still embarrassed of our failures.
The Avengers movie. It was all about failure.
Yeah, failed.
And so here we have this big failure.
Right.
And how many people couldn't move on from that failure?
People quit. Thor starts doing
everything. An alcoholic.
Oh, it's crazy. That's so great. He's like melted ice cream.
Yeah.
So all that stuff happens, and I think drive a 1990 car, you can drive a Lambo. It don't matter. But if you're going to represent that as just like, yeah, like when I hear I got a new agent.
Yeah, why not? I don't understand. Yeah, it can't be the Lambos and jets.
No, it can't be.
Is it? I think it's only real estate. No, I guess there's a lot of these industries.
It's even worse in that world. They all pretend they're super rich with this, and this. And I'm like, why are you still on YouTube, man? What are you doing? What's going on? And I've shared already on the show, and we got one of the three little problems turning around, and the next one is pretty close to being turned around. So we work on it. And if you're not teaching your kids that there's no shame in failure, the shame, but I learned from it, right? So you have to learn from that. And I think if any legacy out there is possible, teach your children, teach your brothers, your sisters, your mother, your father, anyone at any point in life that, hey, if we fail, we're just learning.
Yeah, I was explaining this to a friend of mine the other year, and it's like, okay, well, what are the other options we have available to us? I'm going to win at that game. It may not be the way I wanted to, but we're going to end up
Point that's going to hurt me.
Yeah, ooh, you're going to,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, it's like, even if this deal goes completely down in flames, it's like, how much have we bought in the last 3-4 months? It's like, it's just a rounding error at this point. It's a big number, but
But yeah, we definitely this week, right? And it's about making sure we have the right time, making sure we have the finance loan product.
So let's talk about why the mastermind is so much more important than real estate coaching. Because when you run into challenges, and you will,
It's really sharing failures.
that is exactly what it is.
Nobody's in that room is talking about how great they are. We don't, other than those big sort of companies out there that are still progressing. I don't see a lot of us.
Whining your Rolex.
Let me tell you about my success.
Let me tell you.
Nope. Don't want to hear it.
Nobody cares.
Nope. Tell me about your failures.
That was like resume guy. Jason, we get together, we can compare resumes. No, we can't.
Yeah.
No, I got too much other stuff going on.
Who's the guy at the Quest Room? He's a developer for 22 years. I'm like, that developer over the last 22 years, you've lost your fortune twice. So we love. I love when the guy stands up and says, "I'm a developer," and I say, "How long?" That was down in. We were down at Corpus at Matt's room.
Mm-hmm.
There's a pretty big mortgage guy down there. Everyone knows me. He also has a radio. He said, "Man, you've lost a lot of money." And he smiled. He's like, "Yeah." Developers always get caught holding that bag,
1 minute.
They can't stop.
Right, yeah.
They're in that churn where you got to keep going. Churn is dangerous.
Yeah. 30 minutes. I'd love to know if you closed any business.
At least got it going.
Or at least, I got some good company office to talk about that stuff. So would love to know how well it worked.
10 seconds.
If that's the right Michael Bailey. Welcome back. Jason Bible, Robert Orfino, Texas Real Estate Radio Network.
Almost done.
Almost done for the show today, Motivation Monday. Talking about legacy and getting started. Really, it's our peer-to-peer stuff because a mastermind that just don't meet enough like challenge and move forward. Because I'm willing to bet the vast majority of the people in that group to do this alone. And it's not a real estate coaching program where you come in and get your backpack and let's talk about
There's collateral. There's videos
Yeah.
and stuff.
You can watch all the videos online. That's fine. But it's know the answer.
For sure.
I had a challenge. We had an appointment. We had all this stuff literally
Less than 10 days.
on the commercial side. A couple of phone calls, a handful of emails later, and problem solved.
This is how you do it.
This is how you do it, boys.
We could have took a $5,000 class,
Yeah.
right? But we sat down with an attorney and said,
Call me if you need anything, guys. That's what you really want to be as a part of that network. Why don't you give out the I'll give out 281-401-9008. That's the number in which you can text. Don't call Rob. He's not gonna pick up.
I do not pick up.
Just send him a text. Hey, I'd love to know where the meetup is tonight or the meetup Tuesday, or I'd like to be a part of one of y'all's groups. Just send that as a text message.
I'll probably go back trip and we'll be getting some one-on-one with Merrill and his team that are going to be there. That's for the folks that are in that. So I always, there's always folks that kind of slip in. We're going to kind of guard it this week because this is some pretty good knowledge, and obviously this is with the agent. Don't be afraid of failure, right? Don't be afraid of failure. I was blinking in and out here.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys.